Hello, welcome to next session. In this session, we will solve GATE 2015 Axis Thermal paper. First of all, one marks question. Question number one: a gas expands following the relation PV raised to n is equal to constant from the initial state T1 V1 to final volume V2 is equal to 2 V1. For the value of n mentioned below, the maximum displacement work is obtained for A n is equal to minus 1, b n is equal to 0, c is n is equal to 1, and d n is equal to 1.2. Now the displacement work in general is given by PdV, okay? And we have the general relation as PV is not n is equal to constant, okay? Now to get the maximum work, uh, let us check option by option, okay? In the option A, the value of n is minus 1, okay? So P is equal to CD. Now putting here P as CD, we get V2 square by 2 minus V1 square by 2, okay? As V2 is equal to 2V1, okay? So we get 3 by 2 V1 square C, okay? When n is equal to 0, when n is equal to 0, so P is constant, okay? When n is equal to 0, P is constant. So constant is your PdV, that is V2 minus V1. Okay, so it will be 2V1 minus V1. So it is 3V1. Okay, when n is equal to 1, third option. Okay, when n is equal to 1, PV is equal to constant. Okay, so W is integration PdV. So putting the value of P C by V, okay, we get C ln V2 by V1, okay. So V2 by V1 is C ln 2, okay, C ln 2, okay. Next, when we put the B option is 1.1, okay, when we put n is equal to 1.4, we get this uh, P is equal to C by V 1.4, okay. So integrating it, we get C is equal to C point 605 B raised to power 1 or minus 0.4. Okay. So the minimum value we get is of is for that uh, first option, that is n is equal to minus 1, and so answer is your A. Okay. Next, a 100 ohm electric resistor is heated steadily by passing a current of 2 of 20 ampere. If heating is performed in the ambient at 30 degrees Celsius, the rate of increase of entropy of the universe is kilowatt per degree Kelvin is. Here the heat produced is here current passing the current that is passing through is 20 ampere and the resistance is 100 ohm. Okay, so the heat produced is I square R. Okay, that is 20 square R. Okay, so it is 400 into 100 or 40,000. Okay, so heat produces 40,000 joules or 40 kilojoules. Okay, now if the heating is performed in now the ambient temperature is just 20 degree. Okay, now all the heat produced is given to the atmosphere. Okay, so there will be generation of entropy in the atmosphere. Okay, so that is the supplied to heat supplied to atmosphere divided by temperature of atmosphere. Okay, so that is the entropy change of atmosphere, that is 132.01 watt per kilowatt per degree Kelvin. Okay, now the heat is produced by passing the current to a resistor. Okay, it means it is the work done. Okay, so there will be no entropy change of the system or the wire. Okay, so entropy change is zero. Okay, so entropy change of the universe will be that amount only. Okay, that is 132.01 watt per kilo per degree Kelvin, not 0.1310 1320 kilowatt per degree Kelvin. Okay, let us figure out this. Heat generated is dissipated to atmosphere, which remains at constant temperature. Hence, the entropy of the surrounding increases. while the current flow is the work done for the electric resistor, due to which there is no change in entropy of the source. Okay, because of work done, there is no entropy change, so the entropy in the source will not take place. Okay, next question number three. As per classes inequality, a system operating on an irreversible cycle transfers option A, a more entropy to the sink that what it received from the source. B, as much entropy to the sink as it receives from the source. C, less entropy to the sink that what it receives from the source. D, less entropy to the sink that corresponding to reversible cycle. So for the irreversible cycle, there should be entropy generation. Okay, the entropy of the universe should be positive. Okay, so when we are supplying heat to sink, then its entropy should increase, and when we are taking heat from the source, then its entropy should decrease. Okay, so the process to be irreversible process, according to classes inequality, the entropy generation should be there. Okay, so entropy generated by heating by dissipating heat to the sink, and entropy uh, lost by receiving heat from the source. Okay, so this entropy generation of the sink should be more than the entropy of the source. Okay, so let us see about this. Okay, more entropy to the sink. Okay, and sorry, it should be more. Okay, answer is this, and what is received from the source. Okay, so entropy of universe is positive. Okay, when the heat is taken from the source, its entropy decreases. So entropy of source is negative. Okay, when the heat is injected to the sink, the entropy increases, and its entropy is positive. So to make the universe positive, okay, to make the entropy universe positive, so entropy of things should be greater than entropy of source. Okay, in reality, okay, to answer it. Next, the critical point of a substance corresponds to the state A at which the solid, liquid, and vapor phases are in equilibrium. B beyond which the liquid will require large amount of heat to become vapor. C beyond which solid sublimates directly to vapor state. B beyond which the distinction between the liquid and vapor is very clear. So this is the critical point. Here the liquid phase exists, here the liquid plus vapor exists, and here the vapor phase exists. So at this point, both liquid and vapor phase exist. Okay. So there is no distinction between the uh, liquid and vapor. So this point is clear. Okay. So answer is B. Next, consider the process of sensible cooling of air with 60% relative humidity at constant pressure. Which one of the following statements is true for this process? Option A, both humidity ratio and relative humidity increase during the process. B, humidity ratio decreases continuously due to condensation. Dry bulb temperature decreases, but the wet bulb temperature increases. C, the humidity ratio remains constant. So this is the cooling. 1 to 2 is cooling, and this is sensible cooling. Okay, and we can see that this is sensible cooling or cyclometric chart. Omega or humidity ratio is constant, and dry bulb temperature is decreasing, relative humidity increasing. So answer is your humidity ratio remains constant. Okay, option B. Next, the coefficient of, of performance COP of a reversible refrigerator operating between two thermal reservoirs is 4. The efficiency in percentage of a reversible heat engine operating between the same temperature limits COP of refrigerator is 4. Okay, COP of refrigerator is 4. Okay, so T2 by given as COP of refrigerator is 4, and COP of refrigerator for Carnot cycle is medium temperature divided by temperature difference. Okay, medium temperature T2 and temperature sensitivity minus T2. Okay, so So it is 4. So from this we can find out the ratio of T1 by T2, that is 5 by 4. Now efficiency of reduction is for the reversible engine is, or the Carnot engine is, temperature difference divided by maximum temperature. Okay, now we have this T1 by T2 as 5 by 4. Okay, so now we can put 1 minus 5, 4 by 5. Okay, or 1 by 5, that is 20%. Okay, so this is the clean question. Okay, so efficiency is your 20%. Okay, next, differential change in specific enthalpy of a superheated vapor for which ideal gas approximation does not value. The third is given by the expression A dH is equal to Cp dt, B dH is equal to Cp dt plus turn dH by turn dt dV, C dH is equal to Cp dt plus turn dH by turn dt C constant dt, D dH Cp dt turn dH by turn dt T constant dt. Okay. We can see that we know that the enthalpy for an ideal gas is pH is equal to Cp dt. Okay, and when we consider ideal gas, we take the constant pressure condition. Okay, that is the heat at constant pressure. But enthalpy due to pressure change will also occur. Okay, so that is given by del S by del P at constant temperature and with variation dT. Okay, so answer is your okay. So answer is your C answer. Then. It should be C answer. Okay, CP. Okay, answer will be C. So this is C answer. Okay. The value of superheated vapor changes with the pressure for which the Cp is different for different pressure, and however the value of Cp is constant for ideal gas. So for superheated vapor will be this. Okay, so answer is your C. Next, an ideal gas mixture of oxygen molecular weight 32 kilogram per kilomole and carbon dioxide molecular weight 44 kilogram per kilomole has a mass composition of 40% and 60% respectively. If the total pressure is 200 kPa, the partial pressure of oxygen in kPa is present. Okay. So here the we have 40% of oxygen and 60 carbon dioxide. Okay. Now uh, from this now the we can this is the mass percentage. Okay, and we can calculate we need to calculate the total pressure of the system. Okay, so the volume percentage of oxygen is 0.4 divided by molecular weight, or divided by molecular 0.4 percentage of this oxygen divided by molecular weight and percentage of this nitrogen divided by molecular weight. Okay, or we can get volume percentage of oxygen is 47.8. Okay, now the total pressure is 200 kPa. Okay, it is given as 200 kPa. Okay, and the partial so the pressure of the oxygen will be in the in corresponding to percentage of oxygen. Okay, so that will be 200 into percentage of oxygen will have. Okay, that is 47.28. Okay, so answer is here 95 to 6.2 kg. Okay, that is according to the law of pressure. Okay, that the pressure is in corresponding to the uh, volume percentage of the substance. Okay, in the mixture. Next, in an ideal Rankine cycle, increase in superheat In an ideal Rankine cycle, increase in superheat in an ideal Rankine cycle, increase in superheat of vapor at the exit of boiler leads to option A, decrease in net work output of the cycle, B, increase in cycle efficiency, C, decrease in cycle efficiency, D, decrease in quality of steam at the exit of turbine. So this is your exit of boiler. Okay, and if we increase the superheat, we get point O. Okay, this is what is and we get point O. Okay. Now, if when the when there is slight superheat, then the expansion is equal to O dash one, and then uh, sufficient amount of superheat is provided, then the expansion is O2. Okay, so we can see that the quality of the steam at the exit of turbine is increasing with superheat. Okay, so uh, this option is wrong, decreasing quality of the steam at the exit of turbine. Okay, now we can see that the work done is also increasing. Initially it was O dash one, now it is O2. Okay, so there is increase in work done also. Okay, so this is also wrong, A is also wrong. Okay, as we are increasing the mean temperature of heat addition, because here the temperature of heat addition is according to this, but here we are adding more heat, so it means we are increasing the mean temperature of heat addition. So its efficiency will increase. Okay, so efficiency increases. Okay, so answer is your C. So answer C is wrong because it is decreasing the efficiency. Okay. Next 2 marks question. 2 moles of air at 1 atmosphere 21.1 degrees Celsius goes through an adiabatic device and separates into a fourth stream of zero point 0.4 moles at 1 atmosphere 176.3 degrees Celsius and a cold stream of 1.6 moles at 1 atmosphere minus 17.7 degrees Celsius without any external work. It can be concluded that option A, the total entropy change is zero. B, the total entropy change for the process is positive. Device volume the second law of thermodynamics. Device volume the first law of thermodynamics. The mixing is an irreversible phenomenon because initially they are mixed, and after passing through an adiabatic device, okay, it gets separated. That is not possible. Okay, so it violates the second law of thermodynamics. Mixing is irreversible, so it violates the second law of thermodynamics. Okay, because entropy it is an irreversible process. Okay, so irreversibility is given by second law. Okay, so answer is C. Next, for a real gas undergoing volume expansion through a porous plug with alpha is equal to 1 by V, curly V by curly T is still constant, the Joule-Thomson cooling effect is observed if A 0 alpha T alpha T is varying from 1 to 0, alpha T is 1, alpha T is greater than 0, 1 and alpha T is 0. Okay. So Joule-Thomson coefficient is given by for real gases 1 by Ct, T by quantity T minus B. Okay. So this is Joule-Thomson coefficient. Now your alpha is this 1 by B, 1 milli by quantity minus C. Okay. So Joule-Thomson coefficient becomes if we take common B, then it will be 1 by B Ct. So alpha T minus 1. Okay. Then it will be Joule-Thomson coefficient will be this. Okay. Now, for the cooling effect, the alpha Thomson coefficient should be positive because when the in bottling, when pressure decreases, the temperature should also decrease. Then the cooling effect is observed. So, Joule Thomson coefficient is positive. So, answer. So, this quantity should be positive. or alpha T should be greater than 1. Okay, so answer is your T. Okay, next. A lead bullet at 100 degrees Celsius traveling at 500 meters per second strikes a target and automatically comes to death if the specific heat of lead is 92 joule per kilogram per degree Celsius. The melting temperature is 327.5 degrees Celsius. The heat of fusion is 108 kilojoule per kilogram. The percentage mass of lead in the bullet that is melted by collision is now the temperature is decreased from 327.5 to 100 degrees Celsius, and then the lead is melted. Okay. Now heat required as specific heat of the lead is 92. Okay, 92 joule per kilogram per degree Celsius. Okay, and your specific heat is this value. Okay, so the heat required to melt to bring the temperature of lead from 327.5 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius is per kilogram. Okay, for 1 kg of lead. Okay, is 92. 92 is specific heat, and this is a decrease in temperature. So this is 20930 joule per kilogram per degree Celsius. Okay. Now the this heat is produced by the changing its kinetic energy. Okay, when it strikes the target, it comes to rest, and whole of its kinetic energy changes into heat energy. Okay, the heat then the total energy that we are having is kinetic energy that is equal to 500 square by 2. Okay, so this will be 1 to 5 triple zero joule per kilogram. Okay, we are considering for 1 kilogram. Okay, all the data for 1 kilogram. Okay, now this is the total heat available. Okay, this is the heat uh, to bring down the temperature from 327 to 100 degrees Celsius. So when it reaches to 100 degrees Celsius, then it starts fusing. Okay, now but to bring it to from this temperature, we have this quantity of heat. We use this quantity, but we have total this quantity of it. So now rest of the heat will be used to fuse the lead. Okay, so the heat used to fuse the lead is this quantity. Okay, minus 125 minus 20 minus that will be 104.070 kilojoule per kg. Okay, that is for all the other things for per kg. Okay, now heat for fusion per kg is 108. Okay, heat for fusion is 108. Okay, but the heat used for fusion is for 1 kg of fusion heat required is just 108. Okay, but the heat available is your 104.70. So percentage of mass fused is this 104 divided by 108 into 96.3%. Okay, so answer is your 96.3%. Then an air water vapor mixture with volume 100 meter cube at 100 kPa 35 degrees Celsius is at 75% relative humidity. Taking saturation pressure of vapor at 35 degrees Celsius as 5.63 kPa. The mass of vapor in the mixture in kg is given that the air water vapor mixture has a volume 100, okay, and pressure 100 kPa. Okay, and temperature is 70, 31 degrees and relative humidity is your 70. Now we know that relative humidity is in percentage is PV by PS is 200. Okay, that is 75%. So here the saturation pressure is given as 5.63. So we can calculate with PV. PV is vapor pressure. Okay. So by knowing vapor pressure, we can calculate specific humidity. Okay. So PT is your total pressure is your 100 kPa and PV is your this that we are calculating 4.225. Okay. So now putting the values, we can calculate specific humidity. Okay. Specific humidity is nothing but mass of water vapor divided by mass of dry air. Okay. So this will be mass of water vapor divided by mass of dry air. That will be 0.02742. Okay. Okay. Uh, Mass of dry air can be calculated by using the ideal gas relationship. Okay, so that is equal to that is the relationship is MPV is equal to MRT, and P for dry total pressure is your 100 and partial pressure of water vapor is this. Okay, so the pressure of dry air is this, and V is your 100. Okay, V is your 100. Okay, PV. Okay, now this is M is your mass of dry air, R is your 287, and T is your temperature, that is 35 degrees Celsius or 273 plus 38. Okay, so from this we can calculate mass of dry air, and we have this specific humidity as 0.02742. So from this we can calculate MW, that is 2.97 kg. To answer mass of vapor in the mixture in kg is your 2.9. Next, an ideal gas of mass 1 kg enclosed inside a rigid vessel at initial temperature 1200 degrees Kelvin is employed as a heat source. The specific heat CV of the gas is 718 joule per kilogram per degree Kelvin. The maximum work in kilojoules that can be developed by operating the heat engine between the ideal gas and ambient temperature at 300 Kelvin is option A 646.2, B 484.7, C 387.7, D 347.2. So here the condition one is uh, at 1200 Kelvin. Okay, temperature is at the gas is at 1200 Kelvin, and it is to be uh, used and the heat engine to be operated between the ideal gas and an ambient temperature. The ambient temperature is your 2. Okay, 2. Okay, so and this T naught, the temperature T naught is 300 Kelvin. Now the ideal gas will provide the gas will provide heat to the engine by decreasing its temperature. The initial temperature is 1200 and final temperature is your 718. By this, there will be so this process is indicated as one one three. Okay, so there will be some as gas is losing its heat. Okay, so there will be some decrease in entropy. Okay, for the so it means the entropy of the gas is decreasing. Okay, as it provides the whole of the heat to the engine. Okay, so the process to be reversible, the whatever the entropy increase of the gas, so entropy decrease of the gas takes place, then the same amount of entropy increase of the uh, engine should take place. Okay, so then we can say that the process is reversible. Okay, so now the heat supplied from 1 to 3. Okay, from 1 to 3, and the gas is closed, so we will take the constant volume condition. Okay, So heat is supplied by the source upon decreasing its temperature from T1 to T0. Okay, so this is the heat supply. Okay, now uh, the entropy change of the similarly for the first volume process, we can find out the entropy change. Okay, so MC with dt by T entropy change in T0 to T1. Okay, so temperature rise from T0 to T1. Okay, so on so entropy is of the entropy decrease of the source is minus 995.35. Okay, and this as this is the decrease in entropy, and for the process to be reversible the increase in entropy should be in same amount. Okay, should be in same amount. Okay, so that the process can be made reversible. Okay, so entropy of so for the process to be reversible, entropy of source plus entropy of surrounding should be zero. So entropy of the surrounding or as the gas is being supplied as to the atmosphere. Okay, so entropy of the atmosphere should be should this is okay. So heat reject as finally the heat being rejected to the atmosphere. Okay, so we'll take the atmospheric condition. Okay, so the heat rejected will be to the atmosphere. Uh, Heat rejected to the atmosphere will be T dot into that entropy change. Okay, so that is the heat rejected. Okay, now this is the heat supplied. Okay, heat supplied. Okay, and this is the heat rejected. Okay, so the difference in these two is uh, difference of these two is your what the okay, so answer is your 347 or answer is your B. 347.9595 kilojoules. Okay. Next, the boiling point of water changes from 99.62 degrees Celsius to 105.99 degrees Celsius. When the system pressure is changed from 1 bar to 1.25 bar, the boiling point value in degree Celsius corresponding to the pressure 1.5 bar is. So dP by dt is your L according to classical equation. L divided by T uh, specific volume of gas or and specific volume of your specific volume of vapor or specific volume of fluid. Okay. Okay. Now this quantity is very small. Specific volume of water vapor is very small as compared to this specific volume of gas. So this quantity can be related. So the equation will be L by P PV dash and in vapor state the ideal gas equation may be employed. Okay, so PV dash is equal to RT. So PV dash is equal to RT. Now putting the V dash is equal to RT by P. Okay, now we can have this equation as LP RT square, where L is relative P pressure, R is capacity gas storage, T is temperature, delivered by T is change in pressure. Okay, now P comes here and dt comes there. Okay, so we can integrate that. Okay, now I'm putting a limit, then ln P2 by P1 and R 1 by T2 1 by T2 minus 1 by P1. So according to given condition, the boiling point changes from 99 to 99.6 to 105.99. So we can put these two and the pressure changes from 1 bar to 1.25 bar. So we can put P1 as P1 as 99.622 plus 2000 degree. Okay, and T2 has 1 corresponding to 105. T2 has 1.25 bar and P1 has 1 bar. And from this we can find out this L by R. Okay, so once the L by R is known, this L by R. Okay, once the L by R is known, okay, now we have to find out the boiling point correspond to 1.5 bar. Okay, once this L by R is known, now putting this P1 as 1 and P2 as 1.5 bar. Okay, so we can find out keeping the all the other things same, but only changing the P2 and P2. Okay, in this equation. So we can find out T2. So T2 is your 384.3186 or 111.386 degree Celsius. Okay, that is in Kelvin. So this is also optionless question. Okay, to answer this is your 384.3186 Kelvin. Okay, next, an ideal gas expands in an adiabatic frictionless nozzle from inlet condition of 31 bar 800 degree Kelvin to the ambient pressure 1 bar at the outlet. The specific heat Cp of the gas in 1 kilojoule per kilogram per degree Kelvin and the specific heat ratio gamma is 1.4, the electric real final energy and velocity of the gas in meter per second at the nozzle exit is option A 32, option B 500, option C 707, option B your houses. Okay. Now, uh, as we have to consider the frictionless adiabatic process in nozzle, so the process is isentropic process. Okay, where the initial pressure is 31 bar and final pressure is your ambient pressure and temperature is your initial temperature is your 800. Okay, so P1 is your 31 bar, P2 is your 1 bar. So P1 is your 800. So using isentropic relationship, P1 by P2 equal to P1 by T2, we can find out T2. And and it is also given that the inlet kinetic energy, so velocity of the gas is directly given by energy equation, that is V2 is equal to 2 H in minus H exit or 2 Cp H T in minus T exit, where T in is your 800 and T exit is your 229. Okay, by putting this and Cp is your 1000. Okay, so by putting that, we can find out V2 as 1000 meter per second. So option B is the next. 1 kilomole of hydrogen molecular weight 2 kilogram per kilomole. Specific heat ratio gamma 1.4 at 1 bar 300 Kelvin mixes with 1 kilomole of nitrogen molecular weight 28 kilogram per kilomole. Specific heat ratio gamma 1.4 at 1 bar 300 Kelvin in an adiabatic vessel. The final mixture is also at 1 bar 300 Kelvin. The entropy change for the process is the entropy as the temperature is temperature of this first and second and pressure of the first and second is same. Okay, so the entropy change will be given by the only by the only due to the changing volume. Okay, so this the entropy change of the process will be entropy change of the H2 because these two are getting mixed. Okay, H2 and N2. Okay, so the entropy change of this H2 plus entropy change of this N2 will be the total entropy change. Okay, so let Vf be the final volume and Vf1 is the initial volume of H2. Okay, and Vf2 Vfn2 is the final volume of nitrogen. Vf1 is H2 and 2 is the initial volume of nitrogen. And mass and Mn2 and Rm2 are mass and characteristic gas constant. Okay, so these are the okay. So these are the specific volume. Okay, now we have MH2. We don't have MH2. Okay, now we will calculate these quantities. Okay, so RH2 is your universal gas constant divided by volume limit of H2, that is 4.157. Okay, here R is used. Okay, similarly we can find out Rn2. Okay, now MH2 is your 2 kilogram per mole. The molecular weight is your okay, 2 kilogram per kilogram mole. Here we are using that RH2. Either we can use the characteristic gas constant or we can use the number of moles. Okay, so that is MH2RS2, okay, for per kilomole, base converting the entropy in per kilomole, okay, entropy change in kilojoules per unit. Okay, so MH2 is 2 kilogram per kilomole, and for 1 kilomole, it is MH2 is given, okay, and P1 and T1 are given, okay, so we can find out VIH1, VI initial volume of hydrogen, okay, H2, by putting this R this and T this and 1 into pressure is your 10 to 5. So this is your final initial volume of H2. Similarly, we can calculate initial volume of PiN2. Okay, so this is R, this is T, and this is T. Okay, so as when they are mixed, okay, both are 1 kilomole. It is given there. It is given. 1 kilomole of hydrogen, 1 kilomole of oxygen. Both are 1 kilomole. Okay, so the the mixture R mixture can be calculated by taking the average of this because both are in the same quantity. So R mixture is your RS2 that we have calculated. Okay, and RN2 divided by 2. Okay, so it will be 2.2269 kilojoules per kilogram per unit. Okay, now we have our mixture. Okay, now the pressure and temperature are same before and after mixing. So this is temperature is 300 and pressure is this. So we have will be same for both. Okay, now putting these values here, M is your 2 kilogram because molecular weight of hydrogen is 2 kilogram per kilomole and 1 kilo volume of hydrogen is only available. And molecular weight of nitrogen is 28 kilogram per kilomole and 1 kilomole is available. Okay, so putting Mn2 as 2 and Mn2 as 28 and Rn2 and Rn2. The corresponding value, final volume of this 20, initial volume of this H2, and this is again 28 Rn2 Vf by Vi. Okay, so we can find out the entropy gain that is 11.56. Option B is the right answer. 11.56. Next, a cycle 1231 is proposed with the following processes: 1 2, a constant pressure expansion; 2 3, reversible adiabatic expansion; 3 1, irreversible adiabatic compression. Which one of the following statement is true? Option A, net work of the cycle is zero because there is no heat transfer. B, the cycle is feasible and can deliver net positive work. C, the cycle is impossible according to Kelvin's definition. D, the cycle is impossible according in accordance with the first law of thermodynamics. As there is one constant pressure expansion process and two adiabatic processes. Okay, so it means there is only one heat transfer process, that is constant pressure process, and in other two, because they are adiabatic processes, no heat transfer is taking place. Okay, so according to first law of thermodynamics or second law of thermodynamics, according to Kelvin Planck's statement, for an engine to work some work, it has to reject some heat and should take it from one source and should reject heat to other source. Okay, so there should be two sources of heat transfer. Okay, one is source, another is sink. But there is only one source. Okay, or sink. Okay, so it is zero. So it is not possible according to Kelvin experiment to answer in it. Next, 1 kilogram of saturated liquid vapor mixture of water at 150 kPa, UF is equal to 467 kilojoules per kilogram, PF is equal to 0.001053 meter cube per kilogram, Ug is equal to 2520 kilojoule per kilogram, and Vg is equal to 1.159 meter cube per kilogram. With quality of 0.7 is enclosed in piston cylinder assembly. Heat is added at constant pressure to the system while the pedal wheel transfers a work of 50 kilojoules. The mixture eventually attains saturated vapor state. The amount of heat added into the mixture is uh, given that the properties at 150 kPa with UF, VF, UG, and VG are given. Okay, and quality is given as 0.7. Okay. Now heat is added at constant pressure, and some amount of work is added by using pedal wheel. Okay. So this will result in increase in enthalpy of the system. Okay. So as work, so change in enthalpy of the system or the mixture is work added that is converted into heat. Okay, and the heat added. Okay. So the work is added by the pedal. Work is added by the pedal, that is 50 kilojoules, and heat is added by the and heat is added. Okay, so we have to find out the heat added. Okay, so change in enthalpy of the mixture should be equal to work added plus heat added. Okay, now initial enthalpy is your final enthalpy as the mixture attains saturated vapor state. So the final enthalpy is your summation of Ug plus Pgvg. So that is the final enthalpy, and the initially it is at 0.7 quality. So we can have UF plus X Vg minus Ug minus Uf. Okay, and sorry, this is the total internal energy at X at Daniel's function X, and this is the flow work or flow work at Daniel's function X. So it is Pf Vf plus X P Vg minus Vf. Okay, so this is the total enthalpy. Total enthalpy before before adding any work and adding any speed. Okay, so putting the value UG is your 2520 and UF is your 467. Okay, and PG is your PG pressure is your 150 kPa, and PG is your 1.59. Okay, now UF is your 467 and your VF is your 0.01050. Okay, so putting these values, okay, we can get this heat transfer. Okay, that is 618 kilojoules. Okay, so this is nothing but that is the initial enthalpy, and this is the sorry, that is the final enthalpy, and this is the initial enthalpy. That is calculated by taking U plus PV formula. Okay, so as it is dry, sorry, as it is having dryness section. Okay, X, so we will take X, and it is as it is cylindrical, so we will take due to condition. Okay, next. Uh, Air enters a pipe at 1 bar and flows isothermally at a rate of 1 kilogram per second. Due to pipe friction, the pressure drop between two sections of pipe is 7 is 7%. Okay, if the 7%. Okay, that is 0.10. Air enters the pipe at 1 bar and flows isothermally at the rate of 1 kilogram per second. Air enters the pipe at 1 bar and flows isothermally at 1 kilogram per second. Due to pipe friction, the pressure drop between the two sections of the pipe is 7%. Okay, the pressure drop takes place and initial pressure is 1 bar, so at 7% pressure drop takes place, and the final pressure is 0.9. Okay, of the pressure at inlet of section. Okay, for the ambient temperature T naught 300 Kelvin, the rate of irreversibility between the two sections. Now we have to as the temperature is ambient temperature is degree Kelvin, so we have to find out the AD vertical. Okay. So for this, as the uh, as the air is flowing through a flowing isothermally, so there is no enthalpy drop. Okay, so dH will be zero. Okay, okay. So and dH is given by and dH is your now we know that TDS is equal to DS minus VDP. Okay, and DS is zero, so TDS is equal to VDP where V is principal and P is pressure. Okay, now DS is your V by T dP. Okay, now V is your MRT by P. Okay, and it will be by T, so T will cancel out. Okay, so it will be MRP. Okay, so MRP dP. Okay, so here it should be minus F because I forgot to take it here. Okay, it should be minus. Okay. So entropy generated is your minus mr P2 by P1. Okay. Now the we have the initial pressure and 1 bar and final pressure is 7 bar. Oh sorry, 0.93. Okay, or the P2 by P1 ratio is 0.93. Okay. So we can find out this entropy change and this is the entropy generated. This is 20.827. Okay. So irreversibility is nothing but ambient temperature is 2, entropy generated ambient temperature is 300, and this is entropy generated 20.827. So answer is yes, 62 bar. Answer is yes. Okay, next, a pump raises the pressure of saturated liquid water at 100 kPa density. Uh, 959 kilogram per meter cube to 2 MPa. The isentropic efficiency of the pump is 0.92. The work done by the pump is so we know that the isentropic work done is VDP and it is made by the efficiency isentropic efficiency then we use the actual work done. So here the DP is your final pressure is 2 MPa or 200 kPa. Our initial pressure is 100 kPa, 200 minus 100 to 10 power 3 per kPa. Okay, and your specific volume is your 1 by 959 because it is 959. Okay, so you by 959. Okay, and your efficiency is just 0.92. This is the 0.92. So answer is just 253.151 kilowatt. Okay. Because 200. So if we solve it out, okay, it should be in joule per kilogram. Okay, not in kilowatt. Okay, it should be in joule per kilogram for 1 kilogram. Okay, because specific volume is 10. Okay. Let us change it. So change it right now. This is here and this should be your joule per kg. And there was one more mistake. That was not mistake. Okay. And here it should be minus 9. Minus 9. Minus minus 9. Here it should be minus. Okay. Here it should be minus. Now we will read here. We are told that 21st question now 21st question. In a Brayton cycle with air, gamma is equal to 1.4 as working fluid, T minimum is your 300 Kelvin and T maximum is your 1000 Kelvin. The pressure ratio corresponds to maximum net work per cycle. Now, we know that the temperature of the at the exit of the turbine for maximum efficiency for the maximum work done in Brayton cycle, the temperature at the exit of turbine should be equal to temperature at the exit of compressor. And these are the maximum and minimum these are sorry temperature and that should be equal to T maximum maximum temperature of cycle is equal to T minimum root okay and T maximum is your 1000 and T minimum is your 300. So the temperature at the exit of turbine and temperature at the exit of compressor are equal, that is equal to 5 um, 47.72 okay and RP is nothing but T by T minimum T is your temperature at the exit of a compressor and T minimum is T temperature at the entry of compressor and that should be the pressure ratio. Okay, so answer is here 8.223. Okay. Thank you very much.